Hi, I am Tony Russo, and this is a bonus episode of Funeral Service Insider, the podcast. We are going to talk today with Arron Butler. He is the Director of Field Development for Domani Preneed and also one of the presenters at our upcoming Marketing Summit. Scheduled for 1 p.m. Eastern on September 17th, it will feature him and Damon Wenig, who is the Director of Partner Marketing at Homesteaders Life Company, and they'll be talking about different marketing approaches. In this conversation, we have a great chat about how you can help AI do a better job helping you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him expand on that in the event. I will be there as the moderator, and I would love it if you could join us. If for some reason you can't join us, please still consider signing up, because the day after the event, I will be sending out emails to everyone where they can follow a link and watch the entire thing at their leisure. That's going to do it for now. Let me just get started here with Arron. So you'll be with us giving a presentation in another couple of weeks, but what I wanted to talk to you about today is where the notion for giving the presentation comes from. Where did you see this need that needed to be filled, and how did you decide to put this presentation, which is called Authentic Online Engagement, Content Strategies for Funeral Professionals? So how did you decide that this is a presentation you wanted to make, and what do you hope people take away from it?
Yeah, it came from a couple of places. So one, I've been in the industry for about a decade, but left for a few years to get into different tech startups and kind of in the software space, and found something there, which was that our industry, for all of the wonderful things that it has, was kind of lagging behind a little bit in terms of the available technologies and strategies, especially around marketing. And with that, it just kind of inspired me to look and see, how can we in death care benefit from some of the things happening successfully in marketing outside of our industry. So that was one, is that I was able to see some of these strategies that were happening. And two, is that in that search for what's working and how are people being marketed to and how do they seem to want to be marketed to today, kind of unearthed this strategy for me. And really, if I had to boil it down, it's this. It's that people today in 2025 seem to be buying less from brands and from companies and more from people. It seems that that's where people want to build that relationship of trust. They want to build it one-on-one with a person, with a person's brand, with a person's ideas, with a person's, ultimately, the content that they create. We find these subject matter experts on social media and online, and they build this, this clan. They build this tribe of people that really resonate with the message that they're sending and putting out there. And I realized that in the funeral profession, as things are changing so quickly, and this demographic that we, market to is getting younger and younger in a sense as they're born later and later. Mm. It's just, there's this opportunity that I think we cannot miss, in that we need to be able to start building these personal brands online, especially as funeral home owners. And I think that's really where a key opportunity is going to be now and in the future.
I was talking about this on a different context recently, but thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring it up. Yeah. If you had told me 10 years ago that the fact that I'm a human being was going to be an asset going forward as a media professional, I wouldn't have understood what you meant. But increasingly, people want to know that I'm not AI generated. People want to They want to see typos. They want to see my face. And I was never big into video. We've already moved into video with with my podcast that I do on the weekends for the funeral industry. And it's just about that. It's just about saying, no, I'm a real person and I'm going out and I'm doing these things. And being a human being is an asset in a way that it really wasn't even 3 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And that's kind of my point, in that people want to talk to humans. Now, with that said, and this is something that I'm really excited to talk about in this workshop and on this webinar and these things that I'm doing around this topic, it's, there's a lot of things that AI can do to augment, to help us, to expand us. I can't think of many more groups of people busier than funeral home professionals. It's a demanding job. And it can be hard to add one more thing like creating content or being out there as a human for people to see and to know and to have enough time to create that message to send out there. And I think in that sense, AI can really be a huge help in expanding our time and helping us to really crystallize what the message is and to create content, co-create content with AI to expand your time, to give you opportunities to be able to share those things. So yes, 100% agree with you. You got to be a human. And that's one of our biggest assets is showing just how human we are. But I think too, AI can help us to spread that message a little quicker.
I am 40 times more productive also than I was 3 years ago. And I think that's kind of the crux of it, right? You want to do the ideating. You want to do the delivery, but it's also, a pain in the neck to get all of the work done that needs to get done, right? The work that AI can do, it should do. And I think that there's probably this almost like breaking point where like you want the AI to do the work that can be done for you, but you also want to be authentic about it. So here are my ideas. Like, for instance, I'm going to run this interview. It's going to go through AI and I'm going to use that information to do a title and to do a description. But I'm the one who's asking the questions and you're the one who's giving the answers, right? So it's as you said, the co-creation. I like that description of it.
Yeah, I think that's the best way that I found. We've all, as AI has come out, we've all gone through these, different parts of our relationship with AI. First, it's, writing emails for us. Then it's a search engine for us. And then we get to this point where I know for me, all morning in my personal work today, it's been a co-strategist with me as I've worked through different parts of, the other parts of my job and trying to strategize and create things. It helps to be the strategic partner as it works with me to be able to figure things out, to speed up my workflow, to speed up my thinking, to help me to, look around corners and see things I may not be thinking about. So I think in that terms, it really is, it augments. And with you, I mean, just imagine, you don't have to. You can think back to what that podcast workflow used to feel like and how much faster it is today and all the work that you do. It's such a huge benefit for all of us.
Yes, I could put out 4 podcasts a week without effort.
Yeah,
I couldn't have done that 5 years ago. 5 years ago,
sure.
I could do 1 or 2. And so can you tell me how a couple of ways maybe funeral directors can start to look at their workflows this way?
Yeah, specifically, with AI, it's such a broad subject, and there's so many ways that we can use it. But in all of the the things that we do, I think that AI can again be that strategic partner as we work through our own workflows with AI. It can help us to find ways to streamline things, to create connections on the digital platforms to help us to make things easier for us. Maybe it's, if you're a funeral director, you're trying to find ways that you can connect better with your families. Maybe it's follow up through different ways of communication. AI can be such a help in helping to create those messages for you, to help define the best delivery mechanisms for you. It can expand your already great ideas, your already humanness that you're trying to share with these people. It can help to expand your ability to do that. And I think specifically of kind of what we're talking about in terms of content creation for funeral home owners, again, a busy group of people. To be able to think through the things that they're most passionate about, that they want to share content about, AI can help to create so much of that content for them. Let me give you kind of an example.
Please.
So let's say that a funeral home owner is really passionate about helping adult children see the importance of having that conversation with their parents about making their own plans ahead of time, right? It's a big, important part of our business at Preneed, but it's also something very specific, very niche. If there's a funeral home owner that feels so passionate about that thing, about having that conversation and helping adult children to have that, then suddenly it can become very easy for that funeral home owner to start sharing content about it. I'm sure they've already been sharing stories about, kids that have had those conversations with their parents and the good things that have come from it or the regrets of those that haven't had it. And just think about, being able to create content around that. So now here they have this message. Now, they don't have a lot of time out there to, put posts on Facebook or to get onto podcasts or to speak to the community. So with AI, with some very specific prompts and some ways to go about it, within a matter of minutes, they can have a month worth of Facebook content that's ready to post around that topic, thinking through, different stories they can tell, different tips and tricks they can give to these adult children to have these conversations. Whatever the case might be, a funeral home owner can start to build a brand around this idea, this way of thinking. Now, to the next step from there, if they're putting out this content and it's being consumed by that target audience, these adult children with aging parents that should be thinking about plans, when it comes time for them to finally start to really think about those plans, what funeral home do you think they're going to go to?
Right. Yeah.
Is it going to be some random one that's down the street? Or is it going to be this one that they've built trust with all on their own through this content that this funeral home owner has created? I bet that it's going to be this one that they've built the relationship of trust with.
I think a lot of times funeral directors not just funeral directors, people in general get confused about who their audience needs to be, because I think some people are like, I don't want to be too present. I don't want to be too in everyone's face. I don't need to be on the whole internet. I just need to get specific people. But that's the point. Like, you don't need an audience of 10 million. You need an audience of everybody in a 50-mile radius.
Yeah, for sure you do. Yeah. And it's funny, sometimes we think, oh, I posted this on Facebook and, I got 4 likes and, 100 people saw it. And it's like, oh man, that was such a dud. Nothing really happened of it. But let's look at it from this perspective. What if you had a room and, a hotel conference room full of 100 people that are all listening to your message? That's kind of a big deal. That's a big audience. It's a lot of people. They're all local. They're all, people that you want to be talking to. There's 100 people that just read your message. When we start to look at it that way, especially in terms of a hyper local business like a funeral home, an audience of, 100 or 500 people that might see a post, that's a difference maker. That's a lot. We don't have to be totally viral with thousands or millions of views on something. We can make a difference with just a couple hundred.
That's pretty much all I have for you for now. Of course, I'll have more questions for you coming up in the future. But do you have anything for me? Is there something I should have asked and didn't, or something you thought you'd get the opportunity to say, but I didn't provide it?
Oh, there's always opportunities, I think, to pitch the company I work for.
Yeah.
I think is always something I love to do. But
please go ahead. It'll say it in the thing. But yes, who are you specifically, and what do you do specifically?
Yeah, so I'm the director of field development for a Preneed company called Domani Preneed. We partner with Homesteaders Life Insurance Company, and we've had an awesome time trying to innovate the way that we market it to families today, which is really the crux of where all this interest comes for me of, how we can reach families better and where this whole content creation strategy came from is we're trying to, work with that dynamic of how families are consistently changing the way that they want to consume information, the way that they want to be talked to and marketed to. We're always trying to be on that cutting edge of how we reach out to and communicate with families. So, we love to partner with funeral home owners and firms that want to find ways to increase market share and to do it in a way that feels good to the modern family today, that feels natural to them, and it can help to really grow their business now and in the future.
Excellent. Oh, well, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, Tony. Thanks for having me on and looking forward to chatting more.
Once again, if you are interested in joining us, you can click on the link in the show notes, and that will take you to where you can register for the Marketing Summit. If you're listening to this in the distant future, guess what? It's still there. You can go to events.Kates-Boylston.com and go to past events and look at any and all of the webinars we've had. This bonus episode of Funeral Service Insider is a Kates-Boylston production. It was written and edited by me, Tony Russo. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you're listening on your computer, just scoop up your phone and find your podcatcher app. It's probably Spotify if you have an Android, and it is Apple Podcasts if you have an iPhone. Just hit the icon and type in Funeral Service Insider and you will be subscribed, and we will update you every time we have something to say. That's all for this time, and we'll see you next time.